Arrival at Tachileik Airport. At this point, I'm flying from Yangon, the biggest city in Myanmar, to Tachileik. That is the border crossing to northern Thailand, where I start my new series of vlogs, Thailand from the North. The main task in downtown Tachileik is to find the border. So I cross this bridge and I'm looking back into Myanmar. That's where I came from, Republic of the Union of Myanmar. And I'm headed this way. Right there's a gate into Thailand. I hope to get a visa there. So I am on the Thai side. Took about 15 minutes. Fill out the visa forms. They go through the rigmarole. You got to be sure to have accommodations that you can write down onto your visa form. You can't get into the country without having a place to go to. That's very important. My reservation made through Pagoda was with Oyo, South Asia's largest hotel chain. I'd never heard of it before this. The Oyo Hotel was in Chiang Saen, my destination, and it was a very basic room, clean but very basic and simple, for $16. You're viewing Travels with Lobo, Thailand from the North, vlog number 2. If you haven't seen the trailer, have a look. Remember, a vlog is published every Friday. In this vlog, I take you from Yangon to the northern Thailand border crossing at Tachileik, Mai Sai. From there, I take a Songthaews to Chaing Saen and give you my impressions of Chaing Saen. I do a comparison between then and now. I talk about the Mekong River cruises. And most importantly, I end with my recommendations for long-term stay and why Chaing Saen might just be the place for you. So I went to a local cafe to download my maps for this area of Thailand. And I'm trying to get to the bus station, and that's about 4 kilometers outside of town. So I'm taking a tuk-tuk type of a fare. For 50 baht, that's about $2 to the bus station. Hopefully I can catch a bus from there to Chaing Saen. Incredibly, when I got to the bus station, I accepted the driver's word that there were no more buses going to Chaing Saen. No more buses? Well, that means I had to take a Songthaews. By the way, be very dubious about any advice or suggestions you get from people in Thailand. Check it out for yourself. One of the most common tourist scams in Thailand is, it's closed. Would you like to do this instead? 3 kilometers from Chaing Saen. Not your number one choice of transportation at this speed. Would you really do this at home in the country where you live, get in the back of one of these and drive at highway speeds, no seatbelt, no nothing, just surrounded by steel? Hey, what could go wrong? By the way, Thailand's roads are the deadliest in Southeast Asia, so why would I be doing this? Why would I be doing this? And this is what a Songthaews looks like in Thailand, just another form of taxi, except in this one it's a group taxi. Seats, bench seats in the back, and anybody can hop in if they're going to the same destination. Arrival in Chaing Saen. My trip on the back of a Songthaews was from Mae Sai to Chaing Saen on the shores of the Mekong River. It was about 40 minutes. Chaing Saen is a beautiful small river town, the river being the Mekong, as I mentioned, and its main attraction is that it's about half an hour away from the Golden Triangle Park. That is the subject of next week's vlog. The sun's coming in just at the right angle to bring to life these golden columns as I again look out at the night market, the Mekong River, and Laos on the horizon. Historic place, this golden triangle where the three countries, Myanmar, Laos, and Thailand meet. Again, that historic drug smuggling area known as the Golden Triangle is actually, as I said, half an hour from here. Very special place. Chiang Saen, Mekong River, right there. Laos on the other side. You've got to love the way people just buy their evening meals at the food stands nearby and enjoy their evening meal on the shores of the Mekong River. As I come from Myanmar, a wonderful experience, I do have to mitigate that somewhat by saying that there are no sidewalks in Myanmar that I could see. There were attempts at sidewalk, but they were usually blocked, holes in them, death traps, open holes into the sewer. It was really quite precarious walking around in Myanmar. And so it strikes me right away here in Thailand, there are sidewalks. It's not going to be like this promenade along the Mekong River. This is kind of super exemplary. Intense. Just having crossed the border from Myanmar, I find what one finds all over Myanmar, and those are the pagodas. They're not called pagodas here. They're called wats, W-A-T, a wat, a Buddhist temple. If there's one thing that unites Southeast Asia, it's Buddhism. Night market, over in that direction where the lights are. As I look here, it strikes me there are many opportunities to eat in Chaing Saen. Not just places to eat, but also place to buy stuff on the sidewalk here. And I think this is the market that Barbara and I visited 6 years ago. Yeah, this is it. You gotta have a look at that video. I did a walkabout here. That was really neat. So I'm glad I found the market where that took place. Have a look at it. That video got 7,800 views. This video will be lucky if it gets 50 views. My, how times have changed. And yet I think I'm doing a much better job now than I did then. Times have changed. And there, finally, I find a 7-Eleven, and a rather large one at that. This is my breakfast place, at least it was in Bangkok. Get a coffee here, get a yogurt here, have breakfast here. That's what I'll do tomorrow morning. I'll come down here for breakfast. My travels in Southeast Asia have made me a complete fan of 7-Eleven. It really meets my simple needs. And I'm such a fan that at some point in the near future, I'm going to do an entire vlog on why I'm so keen on 7-Eleven. One of the nice things to do in this area is to take a cruise along the Mekong. Theater along the Mekong, cabaret shows, dinner cruise along the Mekong River. So people come here on tour buses. This is a big thing. The Mekong River cruises right there. I can hear the flow of the Mekong at this particular point. As it's flowing towards my right, which would be south. I'll check with that later, whether that's correct, but it is a river that flows mighty quickly as I pan the cruise ship right there. Wow. That would take a lot of effort to go upstream. As you can see, the Mekong is one of the world's great rivers, starting in China, touching on Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. As I said, one of the world's great rivers. But indeed, they do go upstream to just opposite the Golden Triangle in Laos. There is a Chinese-built mini Las Vegas. People come from all over China and elsewhere to gamble in Laos, across from the Golden Triangle. If you're looking for a place in Thailand to spend the winter months, I'm talking about expats from North America or Canada, where I'm from, and you're looking for a place where you won't be surrounded by other expats, it seems Chiang Saen would be your place. As I walk along, I've been here for about an hour, I've not seen one other Caucasian. So if you're looking for a real Thai experience at a relatively lower cost compared to the south of Thailand, this would be your place. So far, it has a very laid-back atmosphere and seems like a very enjoyable place. Seems like everywhere has a mini marathon because of the heat. They're not full marathons, I suppose. And speaking of the heat, this area of Thailand would probably be a lot cooler than other parts. I'll have to check my facts on that one. But yeah, Thailand for Thais, and maybe for you if you're looking for an alternative to the well-known places where expats go in Thailand, which I'll be exploring in future vlogs. By the way, I did walk through some really lovely residential areas that would be wonderful to live in, nice and quiet, beautiful. Somehow when I pressed the record button, it wasn't there. A Thai word you should know is Farang. It describes white foreigners. It's not a word loaded with intent to harm. While many may object to being labeled in any way, it's a neutral label, and on its own, though it can be offensive if words are added to it. Well, we can add a few words. And finally, thank you for joining me on this Thailand from the North trip that's just getting started. So see you next Friday when I pop up to the Golden Triangle. Romantic, but has a bad criminal history.